Ryan, many congratulations, a World Championship semi-finalist. How special does that feel?
Yeah, special. But like I say, me and Jonny didn't play particularly well there, and I just felt like sort of in the highest pressure moments I was finding some really good finishes, and I think the 111 to go 4-1 up was a massive moment in the game because he was coming back a little bit. Like I say, with the ranking money on the line, you know, it puts a lot of pressure on you, and it's hard to perform under that. But you know, I'm proud of myself to get over the line, and we'll see where we go tomorrow.
You mentioned the finishing, 57% on the doubles. How delighted are you with that aspect of your game?
Yeah, obviously I think I've been pretty good the whole tournament finishing wise. I don't know what my stats are for the whole tournament, but they must be sort of near 50%, and you know, that's tournament winning stats finishing wise. You know, I just need to up my scoring a bit, and you know, backstage I've been hitting trebles for fun. It didn't quite happen there, but you know, pressure can do that to you. But like I say, next round nothing to lose, and we'll see where we go.
And that win lifts you into the world's top 8 for the first time. How proud a moment is that for you?
Yeah, obviously it's a proud moment. Do I feel like I deserve that? I'm not sure. Off of just one tournament run, but like I say, with the Worlds now, with the money the way it is, you know, that's what can happen. So you know, we'll see where we go from here. Be nice to get some World Series call-ups and stuff like that, but we'll see what happens.
And 2 wins away now from becoming world champion. You starting to dream?
No, not yet. Obviously, I've got, you know, 2 really tough games left, and you know, potentially the toughest game of them all against Luke Littler potentially, if he gets past Christoph. But yeah, we'll see what happens, and yeah, I want to try and lift the pressure off me a little bit just because of the position I'm in, and I'm probably not expected to win my next game if Luke wins, and we'll see what happens.
Thanks, Ryan. Well done.
Cheers, mate.
Brian, congratulations. The smiles when you were talking there says it all. Like, we know, obviously, you say you don't care and stuff like that, but then you say you felt the pressure. Is this you starting to care now?
It's not that I don't care. It's just, in my last video I said that I care less. You know what I mean? So I still care, but just a little bit less than other players. And you know, that was a lot of pressure there, and it's hard to deal with, especially when you kind of expect more from your opponent and you expect more from yourself, especially the way that I have been playing, and you know, it doesn't happen. But like I say, to finish the way I did and take out some good finishes to win sets, yeah, it means a lot to me.
When we're talking scales of pressure, was that more pressure than when you got to the final of the Players' Championships because it's here?
I would say so, yeah, just because of where it is and with what is on the line. Obviously, I knew that if I'd lost today, I would have been world number 13, and I'd, you know, provisionally, I don't know if anyone could have overtaken me there. But just with, you know, being a top seed for the Euro Tours and knowing where I'm going to be, last season I wasn't top seed, and I was going to the airport on a Thursday to play on the Friday, and I'll get a late call to say, oh, you're top seed, and then I got a day to waste in the hotel, you know. So I'm comfortably in the top 16 now, and I know where I'll be, and that'll be a big help.
You touched on potential World Series invites. Are you thinking of maybe a Premier League place now because you're world number 7, and if that were to come, would you take it? Because we know that you don't particularly like travelling. Yeah. 16 weeks is a long time on the road.
I've kind of said privately that the Premier League is something that I would like to do once, just to say that I've done it. Whether this is a year, I don't, you know, if you look at Chris Dobie last year, he kind of had a similar path to me, where previous majors he didn't do a huge amount, and then got to the Worlds and made a semi, and they put him in. Not sure whether my face fits for that, but you know, we'll see what happens.
Well done, Ryan.
Cheers, mate.
Has it all sunk in? Yeah, it's only been 20 minutes or so since you've got off stage, that everything you've achieved in this tournament and especially this afternoon.
No, I don't think it has really. Like I say, it was a really tough game. I think both of us were really under massive pressure there, and neither of us really performed to our best. But like I say, it was just, you know, down to sort of the clutch finishing in the end, and lucky enough for me, it kind of went my way. But I'm looking forward to go back and watching the last episode of Stranger Things now, and we'll try and compute what's happened after that.
You've talked about your family quite a bit over the last times we've spoken to you during this tournament. How much are you able to gain little tiny bits of inspiration, little 1% and 2% when you look over to them in the crowd during the game?
Yeah, so today I felt like I wasn't looking over to them as much. Whether because I wasn't playing as bad and I was a little bit embarrassed to look over, I don't know. But it's always nice that they're there, and they are an inspiration. I travel all around Europe, all around this country and on my own, and so it's nice for them to be there.
You've spoken to us about your sight issues many, many times over the years, but you spoke about it on stage there to Sky, and talk about being an inspiration for people who have similar issues for yourself. Is that something you really feel, and you feel like now maybe could make a difference? Yeah,
so it's something that, I'm trying to raise money for, the Cura Doa Foundation. It's something that means a lot to me. Obviously, I have it. It's a hereditary condition, so I've passed it to both of my children. My son doesn't have it as bad as me, but my daughter has it really bad. She, when it gets to about 6 foot, she can see, but after that, her vision gets really bad. So she's registered as visually impaired, so I don't think she'll ever drive when she's older. Her vision's pretty bad. So, if I can raise a lot of awareness for that and, try and find a cure for it, that means a lot to me.
Are you doing fundraising for that as well? How much money have you raised?
Yeah, so I think so far, what's the Dutch TV? Viaplay, yeah. So Viaplay have been really good. We've done a little interview with them. They've managed to raise, I think, 15,000 euros or something so far over the Worlds, which potentially could be big for the charity. And I'm really proud of that. And we're looking to raise a lot more for them.
Thank you.
Hello, Ryan. Well done on the win. I think you saw out there that the crowd was chanting your name, and I think in the third set you was conducting them a little bit. Why do you feel like you're getting this support? Because even online, people seem to be getting behind you now.
I think because, I'm a little bit different to other people, I sort of get on with the game, there's no messing around, and I think that's what people like.
Simple as that, yeah.
Simple as that, basically, yeah.
You said that you didn't feel like your face fits for the Premier League, like Chris Dobby was in last year, for reaching the same stage. Why does Ryan Searle's face not fit?
Well, look at me. That's as simple as that. So, we'll leave that there. Obviously, if they ask me, I would say yes. I'll snap their arm off for it. But if not, we'll carry on going.
And you spoke to Josh about the fundraising you're doing for charity. And when you spoke about it on stage, you was getting a little bit emotional. How long have you wanted to talk about this? Because I think it was a little bit of a surprise to us when you opened so much about it that we wasn't really expecting it.
Yes, it was only sort of in the last sort of 18 months that I realised what the sort of diagnosis was for my vision. It's been bad, as long as I can remember. But to have a diagnosis for it is really good, and you kind of puts you in that place where what's wrong with your vision. There's no cure for what I've got, so I'm stuck with it. I wear contact lenses now to try and take a bit of the blurriness away from my vision. But like you see sometimes on stage that I'm asking the caller what I've scored, and sometimes I don't, and it puts me in a bit of a difficult position. But it's hard. And like I say, if I can inspire people that maybe can't see as well as others to pick up the game and give it a go, then that means a lot to me.
And how your vision now, is that where it will remain, or is this something that gets worse? How does it work?
No, so it can get worse out of nowhere. So I'm sort of on the legal limit now to be able to drive. So I wear glasses or contacts to be able to drive. And if my vision was to get any worse, which it could at any point, then I'd have to find a driver somewhere. So if anyone wants to be my driver, then put your hands up. But it's like I say, it's one of those things. It's something I try not to let get to me, and we push forward.
Thanks, Ryan. Well played today.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Congratulations, Ryan. You said that you were under pressure at the start of that match. Do you feel that Jonny would have been under just as much pressure with potentially staying in the top four and potential Premier League on the line? Yeah,
I think that was probably both of our problems. We were both under so much pressure there. The crowd were amazing, and it's hard to perform under such massive pressure as that. So, like I say, I'm proud of myself for the finishes I was able to find under that pressure, and I look forward to my next game.
And you motioned fake tears after you lost your first set of the tournament.
Oh, you caught that then, yeah.
Was that a bit of a millstone off your back in a sense?
Yeah, it was, to be fair. Like I said, I was never going to go the whole tournament without losing a set. You know, that's sort of dreamland. So to get it off my back so early was kind of nice, to be fair. Like I say, Jonny didn't play as well as he can, and neither did I, but I was just taking the finishes out under pressure, and I'm really proud of myself for that.
And how will you prepare for that semi-final to sort of take that pressure off you in that sense?
Like I said, I'm going to go back now and chill out, get some food, watch the final episode of Stranger Things. Yeah, to be fair, I might even go for a little throw tonight. I'm not sure yet. We'll see what happens.
Well done.
Cheers, mate.
Hello, Ryan. So you've got 96 average in the tournament. It is over 50% on the checkouts. You've said you've been playing rubbish after every single game. Do you think now, semi-final, you are actually playing well?
That was the worst game I've played so far, so it's nice to get over the line. And like I've said before, you know, it could be a first to 10 match, and I get it at 9 darters, and the 10th leg wasn't, and I'd be pretty critical. So, you know, I'm quite a perfectionist, and I expect a lot of myself. You know, up on the stage under that pressure, it's very hard. You know, with the prize money you're playing for, it's not easy. So, like I say, to take out those finishes I did today, I'm really proud of myself.
And obviously, you say there are more levels to come when you get on that stage. There's a couple of games that could be there. Not only would Premier League be there, but World Series, obviously Euro Tour, lots of more media. If you win this, are you ready for the extra pressures that could come with being world champion?
Yeah, I think being world champion, that's a long way off yet. You know, there's 2 really tough games potentially. Obviously, you know, I think everyone's expects Luke Littler to beat Christoph in the next game, so you know that'd be a massively tough game for me. And you look at the other half, you've got potentially Gary, Justin, or Luke Humphreys, or Van Veen. You know, so you know there's a long way to go yet. So when we get to that bridge, we'll see what happens.
Well, we do wish you luck for the rest of the tournament. Thanks, Ryan.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
Hi Ryan, well done today.
Thank you.
You've spoken a bit earlier in this press conference about the support you've had from all the fans. Your potential next opponent, Luke Littler, didn't have such a good time with the crowd a couple of days ago. Mm-hmm. What advice would you give to him in the case of not feeling the love from the crowd?
I don't know if I can really give him any advice. You know, he's the top dog, and I'll be looking for advice from him, if anything.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, that's it from me.